Have you ever gazed up at the night sky, at the tapestry of stars stretching into infinity, and wondered if there are other worlds beyond our own? Could there be other Earths, other histories, other versions of ourselves living lives unknown to us? In this video, we delve into the shadows of our world, exploring 6 unique cases of people claiming to come from non-existent countries and cities, speaking languages unheard of by linguists and scholars. Are these individuals merely suffering from delusions, or could they be travelers from parallel universes, guests from the future stepping through cracks in the fabric of reality? Let's find out. Our journey begins in the summer of 1954, at Haneda Airport in Tokyo, Japan. Amidst the ordinary scene, an extraordinary event was about to unfold. A man approached the immigration desk, presenting a passport from a country called Taured. He was well-dressed, spoke several languages fluently including Japanese, and seemed entirely unremarkable. But as the immigration officer examined the passport, a cold dread crept over him. He had never seen such a document before, the paper quality strange, the insignia unfamiliar. The officer flipped through the pages, finding visas and stamps from numerous countries, all seemingly legitimate, yet all from this unknown nation of Taured. When questioned, the man insisted that Taured was a small country nestled between France and Spain. He became agitated when shown a map, pointing to the region of Andorra, insisting that it was Taured, not Andorra, that occupied that space. The authorities, baffled and suspicious, detained the man, placing him in a nearby hotel room under guard while they investigated. The man, though clearly frustrated by the situation, remained calm, as if convinced that this misunderstanding would soon be resolved. The next morning, however, the mystery deepened. When the officials went to question the man further, they found the room empty. He had vanished without a trace, the door locked from the inside, the windows bolted shut. The man from Taured, it seemed, had disappeared as inexplicably as he had arrived. Our next case brings us to Los Angeles in the early 1980s. It began with a seemingly ordinary event, a car accident on a busy freeway. Among the injured was a young woman, seemingly unharmed but in a state of shock. She was taken to the hospital for observation, but it soon became clear that this was no ordinary case. The woman spoke no known language. Doctors, nurses, and even linguists brought in from local universities were baffled. She spoke fluently, her words flowing with a natural cadence, but her language defied classification. Days turned into weeks, and the woman, growing increasingly frustrated by her inability to communicate, began to draw. On scraps of paper she sketched a rudimentary map, pointing to a landmass labeled Laxaria, a place unknown to any atlas. She spoke of Laxaria with a longing in her voice, as if it were a lost paradise. But just as suddenly as she had appeared, she vanished. One morning her hospital bed was found empty, the room deserted. The mystery of the woman from Laxaria remains unsolved, her language undeciphered, her story a chilling reminder of the vast unknown. Our journey into the unexplained takes us next to a remote village in rural Italy. One cool autumn evening, a young boy appeared on the outskirts of the village, seemingly out of thin air. He was dressed in clothes of a style unfamiliar to the villagers, his feet bare, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and wonder. He spoke no Italian, no dialect known to the region. The villagers, their curiosity piqued, gathered around the boy, offering him food and water. When asked who he was and where he came from, the boy pointed to the sky. He spoke of a city called Capernaum, a name that sent chills down the spines of the older villagers. He drew pictures in the dirt with a stick, images of towering structures, flying machines, and strange creatures. The villagers, devoutly religious, whispered among themselves, some believing the boy to be an angel, others fearing him to be a demon. The village priest took the boy under his wing, hoping to unravel the mystery surrounding him. He studied the boy's drawings, listened to his stories, and tried to decipher his language, but to no avail. Then, as suddenly as he had appeared, the boy vanished. One morning, his bed was found empty, the door ajar. The mystery of the boy from Capernaum continues to haunt the village, a tale whispered around fireplaces on cold winter nights. Chapter 4. Lisbia, the Vanished Land. In the spring of 1988, a man, disheveled and disoriented, stumbled out of the bustling Praça do Comércio in Lisbon, collapsing at the foot of a statue. He spoke only Portuguese, but his accent was strange, archaic. He clutched a leather-bound journal, its pages filled with frantic scribblings and intricate drawings. When questioned, the man spoke of a place called Lisbia, a land he claimed was his home. He pointed to the west, toward the Atlantic Ocean, insisting that Lisbia lay just beyond the horizon. He spoke of a great earthquake, of the ground splitting open, swallowing his city whole. He described being rescued by a ship of gleaming metal and pulsating lights, manned by beings with silver skin and glowing eyes. The authorities, alerted to the man's presence, arrived to find him clutching his journal, frantically sketching images of his lost homeland. He drew detailed maps of Lisbia, its coastline a mirror image of Portugal. Doctors examined the man, finding him physically healthy but mentally unstable. Linguists and historians pored over the man's writings, but they were unable to decipher the language. His maps matched no known cartographic records, his descriptions of Lisbia dismissed as the ramblings of a delusional mind. The mystery remains unsolved. The man's journal locked away, his story a haunting reminder of the vastness of the unknown. Chapter 5. The Girl Who Fell from Thule. Our search for answers takes us north to the icy plains of Greenland. A young girl was found wandering on the outskirts of a small Inuit village, her clothes ragged and torn. She spoke no Inuit dialect, no language known to the villagers. Her words were a melody of strange sounds, at times guttural and harsh, at others, lilting and musical. The villagers took the girl in, wrapping her in furs and offering her warm seal meat and broth. When asked who she was and where she came from, the girl pointed to the sky. She spoke of a city called Thule, a name whispered in their ancient legends. She spoke of towering structures made of ice and crystal, of flying machines powered by the aurora borealis. She spoke of a great storm, of being separated from her people, of falling through a crack in the sky. The villagers, torn between belief and disbelief, listened intently to her story. They tried to communicate with the girl through drawings and gestures, but her language, her culture, her very being seemed alien to them. Then, just as suddenly as she had appeared, the girl vanished. One morning, she was gone, her furs left neatly folded on the floor of the hut, the only evidence of her existence the lingering memory of her strange words. Chapter 6. The Gates of Verden. Our final destination lies in the heart of Germany, shrouded in the mists of the Black Forest. In the fall of 1989, a lone hiker stumbled upon a clearing deep within the Black Forest. In the center of the clearing stood a man, dressed in clothes that seemed both ancient and futuristic. He spoke no German, no language known to the hiker. His words were a torrent of guttural sounds interspersed with high-pitched whistles. The hiker approached cautiously, offering the man food and water. The man accepted gratefully, his eyes darting around nervously. When questioned about his origins, the man pointed to the sky. He spoke of a place called Verden, a name whispered in hushed tones by the locals. He spoke of towering cities, flying machines, and a great war. The hiker, torn between skepticism and a growing sense of unease, listened intently to the man's story. He tried to communicate through gestures, drawing pictures in the dirt, but the man's language, his culture, his very being, seemed alien to him. The hiker led the man out of the forest, promising to help him. But as they approached the edge of the woods, the man suddenly stopped, his eyes widening in terror. Then, in a blink of an eye, the man was gone, vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a faint ripple in the air. Outro echoes of the unknown. The stories we have explored, fragments of lives lived on the periphery of our understanding, leave us with more questions than answers. Are these individuals merely suffering from delusions, or could there be something more to their tales? Are they really travelers from parallel worlds, refugees from lost civilizations, or visitors from a future yet to come? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing stories from the fringes of reality.